Mic check 1, mic check 2. If you are watching this live stream back on the replay, take advantage of the chapters and skip ahead to the start of the show. I'm still setting up and giving people some time to tune in. Guys, I'm feeling good about tonight. Oh, I'm feeling good about tonight, boy. We updated that checklist to make sure we get all this technical difficulty stuff we dealt with last week. We making that a thing of the past, all right? So let me adjust this mic. We're going to get this social stream ninja launched and ready to go. We're going to share this stream over on Facebook, and we're going to get this show started. And we got a couple of new things we're going to cover tonight. So you're in for a treat. Let me get these filthy glasses clean to the best of my ability, because they still look kind of muggy, kind of foggy. Hopefully this is better than it was. Nope. Man, I gotta get me some lens cleaners. Let me try this other rag. Woo, this taking up time too, guys. Give me a second. We gotta launch this social stream ninja. Let's get this going. Just throw this over in the drawer once we get it. All right, that's a little better. All right, let's go ahead and get this. So we got social stream ninja. While that's doing that, let me go ahead and get Facebook going. Trigger message to verify. Didn't work and I don't hear it. Let's try this again. There we go. And it's through the headphones. So let's update that audio. Bring that over to LG. Try this again. A lot better. Okay. So we got that. Delete message. Let's go ahead and share the stream over on Facebook. And Facebook been popping. Who has been busy over here on Facebook? It has been busy. So where are we at? All right. So let's go ahead and share the stream. Get over there to that channel. Let me check everything. I threw the shirt on so fast. Make sure everything look right before I'm looking crazy. All right, adjust that. We good there. Okay. Share the stream. We are live. Got it. All right, so stream is shared. Looking for confirmation. And we just got it. All right, so we good over there. Let's pull the charts up. I got the charts. We're covering crowd. Got it. We got some technicals there already. Okay, guys, we're good. And it's 11 o'clock. Let me fix this chair. All right, we're good. It's 11 o'clock. We got that phone cut off. This one is ready for the live stream. Let me check this real quick. Okay. All right, guys, we are good. So let's go ahead and get the show rolling. Let's get it rolling. All right. Welcome to Market Recap Live. I'm your host, Joseph Martin, and thank God. Oh, thank God. It is Monday, guys. It is Monday. And tonight we are taking a look at ticker CRWD. You might know them better as CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike Holdings Incorporated was founded in 2011 by George Kurtz, Dmitry Alperovich, and Greg Marston, okay, with its first office opening in Sunnyvale, California. Now they're publicly traded on the NASDAQ and have a market value over $90 billion. Yes, that's billion dollars. CrowdStrike is in the software industry and the information technology sector, and they are listed in the S&P 500 index. Some of CrowdStrike's competitors are Palo Alto Networks, ticker PANW, Fortinet, ticker FTNT, and Microsoft Corporation, ticker MSFT. We're going to review or preview Yeah, we're going to preview. We're going to preview CrowdStrike's upcoming earnings, visit their website, and pull up the charts to perform a quick technical analysis. But before we do that, let's do our roll call and check our stream poll. We are streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Let's get this chat going and tell us where you're tuning in from. Put a YT in the chat if you're tuning in from YouTube, FB for Facebook, and an X for X. While you guys are filling up the stream and the chat, here's the mission statement. We are building a community over here for people who want to take control of their financial situation by learning how to unlock the wealth building power of the stock market. And we are streaming Monday through Friday following trading sessions at 11 p.m. Eastern time. The U.S. stock market regular trading hours are 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern time. And there's a link for the New York Stock Exchange calendar down in the description. All right, we just got a chat. Let me pull this up. Okay, tuning in from YouTube. So let's pull this up so people can see it. Conservative Millennial, thank you for the chat. Tuning in from YouTube, appreciate you. All right, let's keep the show moving and going. Flowing good. All right, so let's go here. We are about to do the earnings, guys. So let's go ahead and check this out. So we go here, earnings, bam. And the ticker for the earnings, good. Take that down. We got the disclaimer, good. All right, we rolling, guys. Let's go ahead and get these earnings highlights, pre-earnings taken care of, okay? CrowdStrike, ticker symbol CRWD, the $194.2 billion company is reporting its second fiscal quarter of 2027 earnings on Wednesday, August 26. They have a 52-week high of $227.50, which took place on August 14th, and a 52-week low of $85.68 that occurred on February 23rd, which is a trading range of $141.82. And they closed today at $190.68. CrowdStrike is expected to report $1.4 billion in revenue on the top line, with an expected adjusted EPS of 29 cents, which would be 3.6% higher than the 28 cents they reported the previous quarter. The earnings will be released after the market close, followed by a 5 p.m. Eastern time conference call. That 52-week low compared to today's closing of $190.68 represents an increase of 122.55% over a span of approximately 6 months. So if someone invested $1,000 in February at that 52-week low of $85.68, they would be seeing a gain of $1,225.49. Woo! All right, guys, we did that. Now let's move on. So let's go here. Take that down, go here. All right, researching a company, guys. Let's talk about why we visit these company websites. We're looking at the visuals and text to find answers to these key questions. What goods and or services does the company sell? How important are those goods and services to their customers? What makes this company stand out from the competition? And how well do they take care of their employees? Where we look. We look for answers in 4 main areas: the homepage for the goods and or services, about us for purpose, vision, values, and mission statements, careers for employee benefits and opportunities, and investor relations for stock quotes, charts, and financial reports. And for your convenience, all companies featured in tonight's live stream are down in the description. Now let's go visit CrowdStrike's website. So let's go over here. Bam. We already have that there. Take that down, put their ticker back up. Okay, guys, so here we are. We are going to browse over CrowdStrike's homepage. Let's see if anything we need is going to be right here at the top. I see careers, so I know we're going there. Why CrowdStrike? I believe everything we need is going to be at the bottom of the page, guys. So let's go ahead and start browsing, all right? CrowdStrike 2026 Threat Hunting Report. Get frontline intelligence on why trusted AI systems are the new attack surface. Okay, the agentic security platform unified and built to secure the AI revolution. That's a lot of data and information right there. The future of security starts here. Accelerate the SOC with AI. Stop AI accelerated adversaries. Accelerate secure AI adoption and innovation. Recognition by trusted analysts. Leader for the 7th consecutive time. A leader in the inaugural Gartner Magic Quadrant for Cyber Threat Intelligence Technologies. Tailored bundles to stop breaches. Okay, so here are their different plans for the clients, customers. Okay, so we see that customers trust CrowdStrike to protect what matters most. Okay, experience industry-leading solutions from one powerful platform. Secure your AI, secure your cloud, stop identity attacks. The next SOC era starts here. Know them, find them, stop them. Okay, guys, so here we are. We're at the bottom. Let's take me off the screen. So here's about us. We're going to go there. And we saw careers at the top of the page. Am I moving too fast? I see investor relations. I see about us, and careers is up at the top, guys. We have seen it at the top of the page. So I remember how to get back there. So let's just go ahead and go to about us. Put me back on the screen and let's see what we can find out about the company. All right, about CrowdStrike, setting the standard for security in the cloud era. CrowdStrike secures the most critical areas of risk endpoints and cloud workloads, identity and data to keep customers ahead of today's adversaries and stop breaches. Okay, see what our customers think. CrowdStrike protects. That's a lot of information there too. It looks like a calendar almost. So here's their history, CrowdStrike timeline. Okay, so we went over that, guys. Now let's find the careers, so we're not skipping over that. They might give us some more information about the company from there as well, because we've seen that multiple times. So here's careers, guys. Some strange reason they got it at the top of the page instead of at the bottom, but let's go there. Let's see what we can find out about the company and them benefits. Shape the future of cybersecurity. Make your expertise count where it matters most. Join the mission. Got it. An award-winning culture where top talent thrives. So there's some awards and recognition. Why CrowdStrike? Do work that matters. Invent fast. Join the best. Careers at CrowdStrike, sales and marketing, engineering and technology. This is like different departments inside the company: research and development, R&D, professional services, HR, finance, legal and operations, emerging talent program. Our culture isn't just a tagline. It's made up of real people across the globe embodying what it means to be a CrowdStriker. Community, celebration, core values. We are fanatical, okay, about the customer, relentlessly focused on innovation, and believe that our limitless passion drives unlimited potential for every CrowdStriker. Our people, so I believe that's some testimonies, recruitment fraud, guys. We've seen that pop up a lot. I didn't see anything about the benefits, and I don't want to waste any more time digging around for it. I didn't even see nothing that looked like it might take us to it. So let's go ahead and go to investor relations. Let's blow this up, put me back on the screen. Well, they have the stock price there nice and big, don't they? Okay, so right here at the top, this is where we need to go. Stock, quote, and chart, but let's browse over this page first. Click it again, okay. So latest press releases. We are on a mission to protect our customers from breaches. You can read that on your own, guys. You can read that on your own. Latest results at a glance. Remember, links to the website are down in the description for your convenience. So here are some other stats about the company, upcoming events. We've seen this on the home page and we're done. All right, so let's go to stock, quote, and chart. And it looks like they have other tools here for investors on their website as well. So here's the stock quote, here's the chart. And guys, we're good. So let's talk about CrowdStrike's clients and partners. So let's go here. We are good. All right. CrowdStrike does have clients and partners that are listed in the S&P 500. Some notable names include Amazon.com Incorporated, ticker AMZN, HP Incorporated, ticker HPQ, and Alphabet Incorporated, ticker GOOGL. All right. Now let's talk about the mobile limitations, guys. Before we look at the charts, remember, professionals trade from a computer, not a mobile device. Mobile trading apps are limited and don't have all the features that are available on full trading platforms. Now let's look at CrowdStrike on the charts. Bam, 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 and bam. All right, guys. So we have them pulled up. So let's start breaking this down, guys. We have CrowdStrike pulled up in the symbol box. We are looking at a 1-year daily chart. Here is their 52-week low of $85.68. Here's their 52-week high of $227.50. And they closed today at $190.68. Cool. Now what we're about to do, we're going to look at a higher time frame. So now we're looking at a 10-year weekly chart. So you can see that right here. And we want to see how much of the 10 years of the data we actually get. Guys, this is supposed to say 2016. So we're about 3 years short. So this looks about 7 years worth of data. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, okay. So they have a 7-year low of $7.99 and a 7-year high of $227.50, which is also our current 52-week high. All right. So while we're here, let me give you the 9-week simple moving average. Guys, that's coming in at $196.93. And here's our 200-week simple moving average coming in at $85.78. Based on where we are right now with the price action, guys, I don't see a need to really mark up anything on a higher time frame because this is where we are right now. And this is this week's candle forming right here. And right now, as far as where we are, it looks like it's responding to the levels we already have. And I've mentioned before, I like to use the simple moving averages. That's the 9s and the 200s. So we can see it looks like CrowdStrike tested the 9-week simple moving average today. And we have an area of resistance there at $195.66. Let me erase this part right here. And this, we don't need all of that. So right here, $195.66. That and the simple moving average, the 9-week simple moving average is right around the same price area right here. And it looks like that's where it was tested at today on the week. But we still got we still got 4 days left. But that's what I'm seeing on the higher time frame. And if I was to put one more price level on this higher time frame, guys, I'm liking this 168. Okay, so let me go ahead and put that there and show you what I mean. So we go right here. I'm clicking, guys. It ain't opening. I'm waiting for this tool to pop up. I might need to put the tools at the top of the page because for some reason, or it could be moving slow. Let me see. Oh, I don't know how to do that off the top of my head real quick. Where are those tools? Drawings, drawing set, data file. Guys, it's not working. Give me 1 second. There it is. Okay, so here's the price level tool. So what I was looking at, guys, was the open on this week right here. So that was the week of June 8th. June 8th. If we use that as the open, we can see, if we zoom in, there's a few weeks where it's responding to that price level of $168.38 on the higher time frame. And let's remove some of these drawings. There we go. So I put it on the open of that week. So we have a wick that was using that area as support. It closed just below that area, 168.38. The wick tested it here. So there's a few weeks that's responding to that price level. That's why I'm liking that on a higher time frame. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back down to our 1-year daily chart. Ooh, look how tight it is on that level, guys. All right. So we've looked at CrowdStrike a couple of times. That's why we have some of the technicals on the charts already. Now the mouse is starting to work a little bit better. And they had a stock split of 4-for-1 on July 2nd, 2026. So they did that stock split. This was a previous gap that happened that has been tested as support multiple times and is creeping right above it again. So did they close below that? This is another example of the price responding to the 9 and the 200. Well, we're not near the 200 right now, but let's get that out the way right now. So the 9-day simple moving average is at $207.30. So what I'm saying is right here, once it looked like it was testing that 9, once the 9 caught up to it up here, when we mouse over it, I'm looking at where the 9 was that day. That day, the 9 was at $217.13. And that day closed at $216.95. So it closed just below the 9 that day. So someone could have been using that as confirmation that the stock was weak or it could enter bearish or a downtrend. And right after that confirmation, we see that it's been trading below that 9 for a few days now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it looks like Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, all last week. So this was Friday and here's Monday. So all last week has been trading below the 9. And we're approaching earnings, which is Wednesday. All right. So we got earnings coming up on Wednesday, and it looks like it's holding support at that 189.46 that we talked about. It's been holding it for the last 3 days, including today. So we got Thursday right there, Friday right here, and then today's candle. And even today, I could have sworn I cut that phone off. And even today, it came up and tested the 195.66. So it's responding to the levels that we already have on the charts, guys. I really don't see a need to put anything else on the charts right now because it's responding to what we have. And based on where the price is right now, I'm liking what we have for these technicals, okay? So let's go ahead and get the stock quote for CrowdStrike. So let me go ahead and zoom in a little bit, make this a little bit bigger. I guess the mouse needed to warm up. It was acting a fool earlier, wasn't it? But we got it now. So let's go ahead and go to the settings, cut on our floating data box, and let's get the stock quote for CrowdStrike. So CrowdStrike opened today at $189.52. They had a high of $195.40. They had a low of $188.43, and they closed today at $190.68, which was a trading range of $6.97. Now, when we're looking at the volume, guys, they traded 7.2 million shares of this stock today. Is that a big deal? Is that a little deal? We're about to find out. So let's go ahead and cut the floating data box off. Take me off of the screen. And guys, when we look right over here, here is the average trading volume for CrowdStrike in a daily trading session. This is going to be the average of the most recent 252 trading days. So guys, that's coming in at 12.3 million. So today is less than, no, I wouldn't say less than half. It's about half. They did about half of what they normally do today. So that's low volume, less than half of the average. And then on Friday, this green candle right here, it was a little bit higher, but it still was below average, coming in at 8.2 million on Friday. So we see the volume dropping as it's trading in this range right here, based off the closes between 189.46 and 195.66. Okay. It closed just above that 189 too, coming in at 190.68. Okay, so let's put me back on the screen and let's talk about the volume percentile. All right, so right here, the volume percentile out of the most recent 252 trading days, guys, compared to their volume, today's volume was higher than 14.7% of those trading days volumes. To be exact, only 37 of those days had lower volume than today. So today's volume is pretty low compared to what CrowdStrike usually does. And we're about 2 trading days away from earnings, guys. So that's what we have for CrowdStrike. So we can get ready to move on, guys. Let's do that. So let's go here, 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 and here. And let's get to this. Okay, community support, guys. Back to the community. I would appreciate it very much if you guys share the stream, hit the like button, subscribe, and if you wish to send a monetary gift to support the content, Cash App and PayPal links are down in the description as well as on the ticker on the screen. And it takes $10 to become the first sponsor of tonight's show. I do have that phone, guys. And if you send something and I didn't say anything, just shoot me a little chat and then we can get that updated, okay? Hey, awesome. Didn't know much about CrowdStrike. Got another chat. So let me pull it up, let people see it. Conservative millennial. Awesome. Didn't know that much about CrowdStrike. Hey, I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you're learning. That's what the community is all about. And that's why I like doing this content the way we do it with the format, because it's a lot of other companies and opportunities out in the market. And when the media and certain, I want to say, content creators just focus on one company, it narrows our scope of the stuff that we could possibly be learning about. And then how these different companies work together as far as sectors, peers, competitors, industries, and sub industries. So I'm glad that it's been informative for you, and you're very welcome. I appreciate you for being here and sharing that with me and the community. I appreciate you, conservative millennial. All right, so let's go ahead and where were we? We're about to do the S&P 500. Okay, so let's do that. Go here. Now let's talk about it. S&P 500 index. Okay, let's look and see what the S&P 500 index did today by using the SPY ETF. This ETF gives investors an opportunity to participate in the broader U.S. market by allowing them to own a percentage of each company in the S&P 500 index. So let's go back to the charts. So we got bam, bam, bam. Take the light down and we'll do this. Okay, guys, so here we go. We're going to put SPY right here in the symbol box. Once this start acting right up in here, bam, we're gonna put SPY in right there, SPY. So now we have the SPY pulled up, and I know that looks like we got a lot going on, but I promise you I'm gonna break it down so it makes some sense. I know it looked busy. All right, so let's erase this. All right, guys, we are looking at a 1-year daily chart for the SPY. They have a 52-week low of $629.28. They have a 52-week high of $779.37, and they closed today at $763.47. Now, what we're about to do, we're about to go ahead and look at a higher time frame. So let's go ahead and look at our 10-year weekly chart. So here we go right there, SPY 10-year weekly. They have a 10-year low. Here's 2016. Let's confirm that first. They have a 10-year low of $208.38 and a 10-year high of $779.37, which is also our current 52-week high. Okay, so based on where our price action is right now, guys, it's been that way for a while this year. That's why we have so many levels up there in that area. And based on the historic 10-year time frame, we don't have any technicals that we can really depend on to look for different levels. We just looking at what's happening this year right now, okay? So before we do that, let me at least give you the 9-week simple moving average so we can see if that has anything to do with what's going on now with the current stock price. All right, so the 9-week simple moving average is coming in at $756.42. Our 200-week simple moving average is way behind, okay, but that's at $555.80. You can also see that on the bubble on the right hand side of the screen. All right, so we have that, guys. Let's go back down to our lower time frame. We're back on the 1-year daily chart. Let's go ahead and zoom in on this price action. Let me adjust these charts, guys. Let me adjust these charts. Okay. Same thing here. Kind of similar to what we were looking at with CrowdStrike, okay? Remember how we was talking about the 9s and the 200s? So here's the 9-day simple moving average coming in right now at $769.74. So this dashed green line right here. Back on, now I'm gonna count it because we don't get, just bear with me. So this Monday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. So Monday of last week, that was August 17th. That day closed below the 9-day simple moving average. Now, remember how we were talking about people potentially using that for confirmation to look for, or not look for, but be aware that the stock may be weak to the upside, showing weakness. Because it was trading sideways, it wasn't able to make new highs. Then the 9 caught up to the current price action while it was trading sideways. So here's the range that it was trading between before it closed below that 9-day simple moving average. So it was trading between, I just got your message, I'm gonna get it in a second, between $776.85 and then the low of that range of $767.46. So what we were doing, we're waiting on this to either break out the top of this consolidation range or the bottom. And after it closed below that 9-day simple moving average, someone could have seen that as confirmation that it was weak and possibly protected their long position or took a bearish position. So it's been trading below that 9-day simple moving average for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, not counting the first day that it closed below it, but 5 days, okay? So let me pull up this chat. J-Rock, my man, is in the building. So let me pull up your chat. Pull the SPY down. Let's pull up the chat. Here we go. I got some SPX is too short SPY. Man, I hope you I hope you're already seeing profits. I hope you already seeing profits. That's what's up. That's what's up. Are you seeing options? You said SPXs to short the SPY. So are you shorting it with stocks or are you shorting it with options? Help me out. Help me out, J-Rock. And I appreciate you. I hope you had an awesome week and an awesome weekend. Appreciate you for being in the building. Okay, so where were we? Yeah, so it's trading below. Now, this is what I was looking at too. So here's Monday, here's Friday, that's Thursday. So it was still trading. So let's go back. I'm moving a little fast. So this was Monday, so last Monday. So on August 17th, when it got that confirmation, right? If somebody's looking for the bearish confirmation to the downside, it ended up gapping down that Tuesday morning. So Tuesday ended up opening all the way down here, coming down, testing that support that we had on that range at 767.46. Then on Wednesday, it came back up, tested the 9. And now it's just been fading off, and that bottom of that range was not able to hold. So now we're trading in a new range between, let me erase the old one. So we're not trading between this range now. Now we're trading between $767.46. So the previous support has become resistance. And now the new support is $760.52. J-Rock gave another stocks. Okay, you got a short stock position. That's what's up, J-Rock. I hope you already showing an unrealized gain or already took some profits, man. I appreciate you for sharing that with the community. You said it's a 3x short, feel more comfortable than getting the option. Okay, all right, that's what's up. I'm glad you shared that with the community and you already taking the position in the right direction of the trend, at least where it's at right now, man. Always a pleasure to see you in the chat and watching the stream, my brother. All right, so let's pull this back up, SPY. So yeah, guys, so as far as right now, these last 3 trading days, so Thursday to today is trading between those 2 ranges. I would not be surprised if it actually fills this gap, because this gap between August 3rd and August 4th has not been filled yet. It doesn't have to fill, but I'm just saying based on the weakness that is showing right now, I wouldn't be surprised. And then we also going to cover something tonight we haven't been covering during the regular live streams, which is going to be the Fear and Greed Index and the VIX. So stay tuned for that tonight. All right. So let's go ahead and get the stock quote for the SPY. And we're going to talk about the volume, guys, because I'm interested to see what the volume is doing, because we've been talking about it trading in the 30 millions frequently with the volume. All right, so let's go ahead and cut on our floating data box and let's get the stock quote for the SPY, the ETF quote. All right, so the SPY opened today at $764.78. They had a high of $765.22. They had a low of $762.08, and they closed today at $763.47. Guys, that was a trading range of $3.14. Now, the trading volume, they traded 32.4 million shares of this ETF today. So they're back in the 30s, okay? Let's see what the average trading volume is for the SPY, and we can break this down a little bit more. So let's cut off the floating data box, take me off of the screen, and then we're gonna come right over here. So the average trading volume for the SPY in a daily trading session is 70 million shares, guys. So for it to be doing 32.4 million, that's less than half. And then here's Friday. Friday was closer to 40 million. So we see the volume dropping as the price is declining. That's what we're seeing over there. And the charts moved a little bit. Give me 1 second so we can fix that. Bring this back over. Yep. So that's what we have there. Now, let's talk about just how low this volume is. All right. This is why I like this volume percentile label. So right here, guys, the volume percentile out of the most recent 252 trading days, comparing today's volume with those days, today's volume is only higher than 1.2% of those trading days volumes. To be exact, out of 252 trading days, only 3 of those days had lower volume than today. Guys, that's significantly low. So for this to be on the spot, I noticed when I was looking over my notes and my watch list, the volume in the market was like extremely low today. That's what I was seeing. I don't know about you. You can share that in the chat. But to me, the volume looked very low today. The market wasn't very volatile, and it was very low volume. All right. So we got it, guys. So we can go ahead and move on. Let's go here. Bam, bam. We got that chat pulled up. Go here. Okay. Sector performance, guys. Time to follow the money. Let's look at each sector inside the S&P 500 index to see how they perform today. Let's check that out, guys. Let's check that out. My phone is locked. I can't do all that right now. Okay, so now let's look at this. Okay, index to see how they perform today. Absolutely. All right, so let's go ahead and pull up the charts. Let's go back there. Bam, bam, take that down. Sector performance tracker. There we go. All right, so what we're going to do, guys, we're going to go right here. We're going to change our grid to sector performance, and this is on 1 day. So let's go ahead and look at the SPY and all of the 11 sectors inside of the SPY to get this performance. And I already have our notes updated, but let's just go through it. Okay, so for the day, the SPY closed down 0.3%. Energy closed the day down 0.8%. Materials up 0.1%. Industrials down 0.7%. Consumer discretionary up 0.2%. Consumer staples finished the day up 1.7%. Healthcare finished the day up 0.1%. Financials finished the day up 1.3%. Information technology finished the day down 1.8%. Communication services finished the day up 0.8%. Utilities finished the day up 1.1%, and real estate up 0.6%. Finished the day up 0.6%. All right, so let me pull up our notes. So here we go. So we're going to focus on our biggest gainers and our biggest losers. I'm going to open up our watch list. So right over here to the left, guys, right over here. I'm going to put this in descending order. So our top 3 gainers for today, guys, are right there at the top. And we can get a little bit more specific because I rounded it down to 1 decimal point. So here we go. Our number 1 gainer for today is consumer staples. They finished the day up 1.7%. Our number 2 gainer for today are financials. They finished the day up 1.29%. Our third biggest gainer today was utilities. They finished the day up 1.05%. As far as our top 3 losers, guys, our number 1 loser today is information technology. They finished the day down 1.78%. Number 2 loser, energy. They finished the day down 0.83%. And then industrials, our third biggest loser today, they finished the day down 0.69%. So we started getting our notes together for this week. So we're good here, guys. So we looked at that. Now let's look at this. Let's talk about this. Let's look at this. That's not it. I skipped something. All right. So here we go, guys. Market research. Let's go here and let's talk about this. So let's go here, take that down, put the like up, take that down. Okay, market research. Now we're about to use the fear and greed index and the VIX to potentially find clues in the data about why these sectors, industries, sub-industries, and businesses perform the way they did, okay? So market sentiment. Matter of fact, yeah, we'll get this out of the way now, guys. So this is something new I'm incorporating into the show during the week for the market recap live. So when I said I skipped something, I'm still trying to figure out where we're going to put it. Okay. But we're going to cover it the way we got it tonight, but it might be moved and changed. But let's go ahead and go to this. Let's talk about this. So market sentiment. First, let's check the mood of the market using the fear and greed index brought to us by CNN. All right. So let me pull up that website. That's going to be this. Take our notes down for a second and then pull this over so you can see it. So here we go, guys. So the fear and greed index, the link for this website is also down in the description for your convenience. Okay. It's down in the description. So the market, as far as fear and greed, guys, today it was 55. We're looking at neutral on the fear and greed index. So let's go ahead and update our notes. So right now here at the bottom, you got FNG and VIX right here. So Monday, the 24th, we're going to put that in. And Friday was 55 as well, guys. So we still sitting at 55. So that's neutral, and that's what we have so far. All right. So that's where we're at on the fear and greed index. Now we can go ahead and talk about this. So let's go here and market volatility. Now, next, let's look at expected annual percentage range and uncertainty in the market. Basically, the market volatility using the VIX index brought to us by CBOE. All right. So let's take our notes down. Let's go back to the charts. Bam, bam, put that up. Yeah, yep. Okay. So let's change this grid back to pro market close. Let's collapse this and we can type in the VIX right over here, VIX. Okay. So here we go, guys. Here we go. So we got the VIX pulled up. We're looking at a 1 year daily chart. And guys, this is a percentage. Keep that in mind. This is a percentage. So they have a 52-week low of 13.38%, 52-week high of 35.3%, and today they closed at 15.85% on the VIX. The baseline is around 16 from the research I did, around 16. So we right around at like normal. Everything's normal. Everything's calm. So it's not too high, not too low as far as where the VIX is sitting right now. So this is important, like if you're trading the options as well. So the higher the VIX is, the higher the premiums are because of the implied volatility. So that's something we want to keep an eye on. So as far as right now, there isn't a high premium with factoring in volatility, like huge price swings. We're not looking at that right now. We're looking at smaller price swings. So let's go ahead and update our notes. So here we go here. So let's put that in 15.85%. There we go. So DEM stands for daily expected move. So they're looking for the average stock to move about 1% a day right now based on where the VIX is. So the volatility is very, very low. Okay, so that's what we have there. Now we can go ahead and move on. So we're going to incorporate that, guys, so we can get a broader feel about what's going on with the market with that information. Okay, so we have that. Now let's do this, because I told you I had threw this in here, so we got to go back. All right, here we go. Now, let's look at the S&P 500 biggest gainer and loser of the day. But first, we're going to look at the loser so we can end the night on a high note. All right. So let me get this back to where we need to be in the prompter. And all right, so here we go. So let's go back to the charts. Bam, bam. We can leave that up for right now. All right. Take these drawings off. We still got drawings up here. All right, guys, so we are about to go to Market Watch. Bam. Let's take this out to S&P 500 heat map. Then we're going to go to quotes. Take this back down. I don't want to spoil it, just in case you want to wait and see everything when it's ready. All right, so here we go, guys. We're going to start off with the biggest loser. So let's pull the charts back up, guys. The biggest loser for today in the S&P 500 is Seagate Technology Holdings PLC. Guys, they lost 6.51% today. Their previous close was $850. They closed today at $794.65. Let's go ahead and do a hypothetical. Pull up our calculator. So what we're going to do, let's use $5,500 today. Let's keep it simple. Let's move it. So if somebody invested $5,500 and they lost, that's 6.51%. We negate that, hit the percentage. Guys, they would have lost $358.05. We add that to the $5,500 principal. They would be left with $5,141.95. All right, so we got that. Now let's select Seagate and let's go over to the Analyze tab. Guys, Seagate Technologies in the information technology sector. So we're going to see how that sector performed, the industry performed, and that sub-industry performed. And if you remember, guys, on our notes, we won't even have to pull our notes up. Let's go ahead and do this. Right over here, let's expand this watch list. Here, our biggest loser. The sector that had the biggest loss today was the information technology sector. And just so happened, our biggest losing company inside the information technology sector is also in that sector, Seagate Technology, okay? Don't happen like that all the time, but we paying attention, all right? So let's go ahead and go to the Market Watch tab. Here's the Visualize sub tab. Take me off the screen, and now let's find out about these sectors, industries, and sub-industries. So here's the information technology sector, and now we're gonna look for Seagate. It's right here, guys. So that's going to be in the technology, hardware, storage, and peripherals industry. Guys, the only company in this industry that finished green today was Apple. And the sub-industry is exactly the same, guys. Technology, hardware, storage, and peripherals. I'll show you that right over here to the left. So here's the sub-industry, here's the industry, and here's the sector, okay? And we already know that information technology was the worst performing sector today, but this is inside the sub-industry. So let's back out. Let's back out, and we're going to look at the information technology sector, just the sector. So I'm seeing more red than green. Take me off the screen. What about you? I'm seeing more red than green. Let's take the sponsorship down for a moment too. I'm seeing way more red than green. And another way for us to break this down, which we've been doing lately, go up here to where it says heat map. You can change this to index watch. When we do that, we can create a watch list or choose a watch list. And I already have a watch list that has all of the companies in information technology pulled up. It's a dynamic watch list. So when we pull this up, it'll tell us exactly how many companies are in that sector in the information in the S&P 500, as well as how many companies are advancing and how many companies are declining. So we don't have to guess or estimate. We can actually get the specific numbers. So 16 companies finished green today in the information technology sector in the S&P 500 index, and 58 of those companies declined. If you don't know how to do that watch list, or you don't have it, I have a link down in the description that walks you through how to do that, guys, okay? So let's go ahead and go back to the Analyze tab. Take me off the screen. So here we go, guys. Let's go over the company profile. So Seagate Technology Holdings PLC is the official company name. Here's a link to their website. It's also down in the description for your convenience. Let's read a little bit about the company before we go to the website. Seagate Technology Holdings PLC engages in providing data storage solutions in Singapore, the United States, the Netherlands, and internationally. Got it. Take this down. Take this here. Pull up their website. I believe we're good, guys. I think this is everything. All right, so let's browse over this really quickly. So we got about, okay, guys, that's it. So I see investors, so we're gonna go there. I see life at Seagate, I see culture. I don't see about us, I see our story. Maybe we'll see more information at the bottom, guys. So I see about. No, that's where we were looking. Okay, let's browse over the home page and look to see what links we got at the bottom, and then we'll start browsing around, okay? So scale AI with hybrid storage. Mosaic Technology, your AI storage strategy. Featured products. Guys, storage, hard drives, internal, external, hard drives, like data storage. That's what they do. At Seagate, we're driven, building a more sustainable, inclusive, and ethical data sphere together. I like that word, data sphere. Okay, now that we're at the bottom, that was a short browse. There's investors. We seen that. That was clear as day. Here's careers. Now we do see that. So we got culture, careers, and under about Seagate is not a hyperlink. So we're going to have to go to our story. Okay, so let's go there, and they might give us some more information up under culture and careers, but let's at least get started. So here we go with our story. Storing infinite potential. Watch video. Remember, links to this website are also down in the description for your convenience. Every breakthrough begins with data. Every AI model, scientific discovery, business decision, and human connection depends on it. That's where Seagate comes in. We believe data is one of humanity's most powerful resources, more than just a hard drive. They have a video there as well. Tiny marvels with big impact. Storage is the backbone of trustworthy AI. To ensure models and applications act as expected, data scientists must preserve data at scale. Our values, cool, so we learning that. Integrity, innovation, inclusion. We're committed to sustainable technology by reducing our environmental impact through sustainable operations, including energy efficient manufacturing and designing products that minimize waste. We strive to make a positive social impact by supporting the communities where we operate and ensuring that our governance practices reflect the highest ethical standards. Creating a better tomorrow together, connecting the world, our leaders, okay? So here are the leaders. They talk about the board. The board don't get pictures, huh? Excuse me, guys. Every bite holds potential. Every breakthrough starts here. All right, so we went through that. Let's go ahead and go to culture and careers, see what we can find out about the company and some benefits. Creating an inclusive culture aligned with our values, integrity, innovation, inclusion, our history of inclusion, okay? Employee resource groups. Our employee resource groups open to all employees, foster inclusion through development opportunities and resources. We drive innovation, celebrating culture and heritage, leadership engagement, leadership at all levels, awards and recognition. Okay, guys, so we went through that. Let's go ahead and go to careers. Let's find out about them benefits. How well do they take care of their employees? I like when companies prepare the candidates looking for employment with the hiring process. So this is one of the companies that does that. It's right here. I believe the benefits are going to be under Life at Seagate or on this page. So let's go ahead and go through this now. Open up your world. Explore a career at Seagate. Exceptional people. Life at Seagate. I'm slowing. There they go, guys. There go the benefits. Okay. So employee stock purchase program, learn and develop cutting edge technologies, health and wellness, paid vacation time and retirement. I believe this is one of those websites where they're kind of vague about the benefits section. So this is what they have, I believe, because we just looked over them not too long ago. Okay. So that's what we have there. Let's go ahead and go to investors and get this information. So here's some stock information right here at the top. Jump out and bite you. All right. So here's the stock information here that we're actually going to go to after we browse over this page. Investor relations, that's investor events, latest results, recent news. Seagate investor and analyst event is blurry there, guys. That's a little error they got on their website. All right, that's it. So let's go ahead and go to stock information, stock data. Here we go. So here's the stock quote. Here's the chart that they have on their website and some other data for investors. Now let's talk about the research that I have about the company. Let's go there. So bam, we're good. All right. So Seagate Technology Holdings, PLC, ticker STX. When it comes to their goods and services, guys, they manage data storage technology and infrastructure across the mass capacity enterprise, client compute, and consumer markets, offering solutions such as, number one, complete hard drive storage options, including Exos and Iron Wolf drives for enterprise data centers. Number two, scalable solid state drive products, including FireCuda SSDs, Barracuda, and Live Mobile for creative professionals. And number three, optimized cloud storage systems tailored for cloud infrastructure, surveillance networks, and backup environments. Looking at their S&P 500 clients and partners, notable names include Dell Technologies Incorporated, ticker DELL, Hewlett Packard Enterprise Company, ticker HPE, and Microsoft Corporation, ticker MSFT. Now let's look at Seagate on the charts. So here we go. Bam, bam. Got another chat. I just heard you. We're going to pull that up before we do the technical analysis. Oh, Snipe Bella. Welcome, welcome. Let me pull you up. Let me pull up your chat. Snipe Bella in the house. Good evening to you as well. Always a pleasure to see you here in the community on the live stream. Hope you had an awesome day in life and in the markets. Appreciate the chat. Hope you and the family are doing well. All right. So we got Seagate pulled up on the chart. So let's go ahead and start going through that. Take me down because I'm blocking something up here, guys. So here we go. We have Seagate pulled up on the chart. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Here we go. All right, that's them in the symbol box. And here we are. We're looking at a 1 year daily chart, guys. Here's their 52-week low of $158.68. Here's their 52-week high of $1,145. Okay. So, oh, here we go. And they closed today at $794.65. Okay, guys, now let's look at the higher time frame. So where we are now, we are looking at a 10-year weekly chart for Seagate. Here's 2016. So we do have 10 years worth of data. Here's the 10-year low of $30.60 and a 10-year high of $1,145, which is also our current 52-week high. While we're here, let's go ahead and go over our 9-week simple moving average, coming in at $850.76. Here's our 200-week simple moving average, coming in at $197.16. Guys, that's far away. It's all the way down here. All right. Now, based on where our technicals are and where the price levels are, I believe we're pretty good here on this time frame. So I'm going to remove some of these drawings, put me back on the screen, and I'm going to zoom in so you can see how the price is responding to some of those levels that we've already placed on the charts, at least from the higher time frame first. Okay, so I'm gonna bring this down a little bit, and we can see those long wicks on those weeks coming down to test that $697, which is close to a psychological price level of a round number. And if you've been following along, you already guessed it, that's going to be $700, near that $697. So coming down, it tested that 3 weeks. So you had that tested on May 18th, the week of May 18th, not May 18th, but the week of May 18th, the week of June 13th, and the week of June 27th. Okay. And then we had a nice holding of support right here at $777.10. And this is actually this week right here. And again, remember how we were talking about how when the candle or the bar closes below the 9. Now the 9 may be a week, the 9 may be a day, but in this case, it's a day. Now, if we were looking at this as an uptrend, guys, that's a dark cloud cover pattern. So let me remove that arrow. These two candles right here, the green candle and the red candle, is a dark cloud cover, and it penetrated deep into this previous week. So that's a very bearish signal. And somewhere in that week, we had a gap. That's why we have that yellow there. And then it opened below another gap we had, because we have a yellow there identifying a gap as well. So this week, we only got 1 day. So that Monday, it opened right here below that area of support. So that became resistance today, that $831.64. And then it came all the way down and came down to test that $777.10 today. Wow. All right, so I believe we're good with our technicals on the higher time frame. So we just walked through that. So let's go ahead and go to our 1 year daily chart. And let's zoom in. Let's zoom in to see where we're at. It shouldn't take that long, guys, but I just need to adjust this chart. Just need to adjust it. So here's the candle for today. Now, this is something that we had talked about when we were covering Seagate. I don't remember what day it was, guys, but we did cover Seagate recently. I can actually get that data for you if you want it, because you can go back and you can watch that live stream. So that's what I'm gonna do for you. Let me put me up on the screen and I'm gonna look for it so I can give you that date that we covered Seagate. Okay, I want to give you that. So let's go here, market recap. That's not it. Is it market recap? Yes, it's market recap. So here we go. Here we go. I'll bring you over so you won't be bored. Just give me a second. This is my other workbook that I got. It's my other workbook. So let me bring you over and I'll explain to you what's going on. So here we go. Here you go. Here we go. So you can see it. So here's my other workbook that keeps track of what we're looking at and when we're looking at it. So right over here, I put in Seagate, STX. And when we come over here, it'll tell us the days we covered it. So they were our biggest loser today. So that's why it says the 24th. We covered them on the 19th. So that was Wednesday of last week. So if you want to see the technicals of when we first looked at Seagate not too long ago, that was August 19th on a Wednesday last week. I don't remember who the main company was on the ticker, but I can get that for you too. So if we go to live streams, what date did we just say that was? We said that was, let's go back, dashboard. We said that was the 19th. So on the 19th, we covered, looks like Target. Yeah, so we covered Target. So on the ticker, it's gonna be Target. The thumbnail, not the ticker, on the thumbnail for that live stream is gonna be Target of last week, guys, okay? So I was bringing it up to tell you, some of these companies behave different. So you have to like look at these companies as individuals. Like some companies gap more than others. Some companies make dojis more than others and things like that. So what we were looking at with Seagate, a lot of gaps. It's a lot of gaps that happens over here with Seagate. We didn't extend them all the way to the right. We focused on the ones that the price action was responding to. So that's why we have this yellow here, even though it's been filled. It was a gap that happened between July 20th and July 21st. And then we had a gap that happened between August 17th and August 18th. Now that one hasn't been filled yet, but this one has, but we left it yellow because we were pointing out how many times the stock actually gapped. Now, why is that significant? It's significant because in technical analysis is also taught or common practice to know that previous gaps tend to become support and resistance. But if a stock gaps a lot, you can't trust every gap as support and resistance. So you want to look for candles that actually responds to it. That's why we looked at this one. We actually see open highs, lows, and closes using this as support, that previous gap between those days. Here, it has not been filled yet. So we just left that there because it was recent. We even have a gap between these two candles right here. So we have a gap between August 11th and August 12th. But we didn't put that gap there because we already were looking at how it was responding to that one. Okay, and they're kind of like in the same spot. So that's what we have there, guys. So we really don't need any new technicals. I just wanted to explain to you why we have what we have and where it's at. But I do want to talk about the 9-day simple moving average. So the 9-day simple moving average is coming in at $888.77. We also have the 200-day simple moving average coming in at $568.59. Now, here's something else that's interesting. Remember how we've been talking about today, how it responds to nines. So we got Monday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. Wednesday closed below one level of support, two level of support, the 9, and came all the way down here to that previous gap acting as support. It penetrated the top end of the gap and closed right at the bottom of that gap at that 831.64. So this is going to be Thursday, this green candle, but it has not been able to actually make it all the way back up to the 9-day simple moving average. We could look at this as like a tweezer's top. And I'm just calling it that because the highs are almost at the exact same spot. That is a technical term, but it could be some other reasons behind why it's called the tweezer's top. But I'm just looking at the fact for 2 days in a row, it looks like it's stalled out at the exact same place. It just couldn't get above it. And then you have wicks there. It's not like it closed right there where it couldn't get higher. They created wicks. So that would be bearish. And then this is another dark cloud cover looking pattern. You have the red, the more previous candle, red body sitting higher than the green candle's body. And it already started the downtrend. Then you have these 3 candles right here, 1, 2, 3, creating the evening star pattern after the uptrend. So that was a bearish signal. So it's a lot of different candle patterns going on right here. So then today we have the gap down from Friday. So that's another gap if we were to put this right here. So let me go ahead and pull that up. And I'm going to use a different color. I hope this lays on top of it. But that's another gap. We had a gap today between Friday and Monday. So we edit properties. I'm going to put a blue there. Yeah. Just to identify it. And it looks like it's behind. Yeah, guys, it's behind the other one. It's behind the other one. I was hoping that it'd be on top, but it's behind it. But anyway, that's a new gap. That's another gap. So let me go ahead and remove that. Just wanted to identify it. And then it tested the support we had at $777.10. So let's look below that and see if we have anything else we can see as potential support, just in case that doesn't hold. And guys, what I'm seeing is what we have here at 697. And that's like $80 away. So there was a small gap here that we used to get that 777 too. But that's what we have, guys. So let's go ahead and get our stock quote for Seagate. And then we can talk about the volume. So here we go. Go to settings, cut some more of these drawings off. Go here to floating data box. Go here, and here is the quote information for Seagate. So Seagate opened the day at $818.60. They had a high of $822.74. They had a low of $774, and they closed today at $794.65, which was a trading range of $48.74. Now, let's talk about the volume. Guys, they traded 3.2 million shares of this stock today. Is that a big deal? Is that a little deal? We're about to find out. So let's go ahead and cut off our floating data box and take me off the screen. So guys, the average trading volume for Seagate in a daily trading session is 4.3 million. So 3.2, they traded a million less than they normally do. So that's this candle right here. And then Friday's candle, they even had lower volume, guys. They traded 2.8 million shares on Friday. So we see the volume increasing, but it's still below average as the stock price is declining, okay? So that's what we have there. Put me back on the screen. And now let's talk about the volume percentile. So out of the most recent 252 trading days, guys, today's volume was higher than 30.2% of those trading days volume. To be exact, 76 of those days had lower volume than today. So DB days below, DA days above. So that's what we have there, guys. So let's go ahead and move on. Take that off the screen. So let's go back to the Market Watch tab. Let's start setting this stuff back where it goes. Go back to heat map, put that back on S&P 500 heat map. We go to quotes. Now we put this in descending order. Guys, the biggest gainer for today is Expedia Group Incorporated, okay? So they gained 5.44%. Their previous close was $321.63, and they closed today at $339.12. I think that's 12 and a half, but we're going to go with 12 cents. All right. And notice how our biggest gainers and losers today weren't even in the double digits. That's another thing with the VIX being low. There just wasn't a lot of volatility or volume in the market today. OK, so let's go ahead and pull up our calculator and do another hypothetical. So we were using $5,500, 5500. So if somebody got that 5.44, wait a minute, times 5.44% gain, they would have gained $305.25 on top of their $5,500 principal. So the total investment would have grown to $5,805.25. Okay, so that's what we have there. Bada boom, bada bing. Take that stuff down. Highlight today. Highlight Expedia. Now we're going to go over to the Analyze tab. Guys, they are in the consumer discretionary sector. So we're going to see how that sector perform, industry perform, and the sub-industry perform. Let's peek over here to see where they finished the day at. So that would be XLY. So guys, they were they finished the day green. Let's just say that. They finished the day green today, up 0.24%. Let's say that. Okay, now let's go over to the Market Watch tab. We go to the Visualize sub tab. We're looking for consumer discretionary. Take me off the screen. So let's go right here, guys. Consumer discretionary. Bam, bam, bam. And we are looking for Expedia, EXPE. I see it, guys. It's right here, right here. So they are in the hotels, restaurants, and leisure industry. Now, when we go there, they are in the hotels, resorts, and cruise lines sub-industry. So, guys, it looks like only one company was red today, and I know you can barely see it, but they finished. That's going to be Carnival Corporation Ltd, ticker CCL. They finished the day down 0.08%, but the majority of this sub-industry finished the day green today, guys. So let's go ahead and break that down. So here is the sub-industry. Here is the industry, And here is the sector, consumer discretionary. So let's start backing out. So let's go back to the industry. So here's the industry. I'm seeing more green than red. What about you? Then we go back to consumer discretionary. I'm seeing more green than red. Same thing. So let's go ahead and take those arrows down. We're going to go change this over to index watch. We're going to do this again. We're going to change this watch list over to consumer discretionary. There we go. So out of 45 companies in the consumer discretionary in the S&P 500 index in the consumer discretionary sector, guys, we have 34 companies finishing today green and 12 companies finishing the day red, advancing and declining. Okay, so we got that. Let's go back to the Analyze tab and let's go over the company profile. Expedia Group Incorporated is the official company name. Here's a link to their website. It's also down in the description for your convenience. Let's read a little bit about the company before we go to their website. Expedia Group Incorporated operates as an online travel company in the United States and internationally. I think I got it. I think we understand that. So we got that. Let's go ahead and go to their website. Yeah, Expedia Group. Okay, guys, I think that this is actually their corporate website. Yeah, this is their corporate website because you don't see nothing about a hotel on here, which is cool. But that's where we're going. That's where we are. So everything we need, it looks like, is right here at the top. We got About Us, we have Investors, and we have Careers. So let's go ahead and browse over this page and then we'll get the clicking. All right. Helping travelers explore the world, one journey at a time. The global travel marketplace for every journey. At the heart of Expedia Group is a marketplace built for travelers. Got it. Trusted brands travelers love. Wait a minute. Trusted brands travelers love. No two trips are the same. From hotels and vacation rentals to packages, flights, and more. Our brands give travelers more ways to plan, book, and experience travel their way. Expedia, hotels.com, Vrbo. Look at all of these. They're all under the same umbrella. Moving travel forward. Get insights from the leaders shaping our vision of a more connected, open, and sustainable world of travel. She looked happy. Partner with us, join our team. Okay, guys, so here's where we're going to go. We're going to go to About Us. Yeah, we're going to use the links at the bottom because they look a lot cleaner. So let's just go there. Here's a video. Remember, links to the websites we're featuring are down in the description for your convenience. So they have history, our approach. Are we zoomed all the way in? Yeah, we're good. Leadership, impact, and sustainability. It's looks like history about the company. Inclusion and diversity. Where there's life, there's travel. Travel is about more than going from A to B. It's about memories, shared connections, and expanding your outlook. Our approach, driven to help the world explore. What began as a belief that technology could open travel to more people continues to guide us today, opening more of the world to more travelers. So here are some stats about the company. Over 70 countries, 3.5 million stay options, over 200,000 unique activity and experiences to enjoy. They talk about the leadership team again, how we make a difference, committed to sustainable future, more stats, inclusion and diversity. Okay, guys, so let's go ahead and go to careers. Let's find out about them benefits. What is this? I don't know what that is. But we gonna move on. Let's just go. Let's just go. I never seen this. You go to careers and gonna have you search something. Oh, it probably think we're really looking for a job. Like we just looking for the benefits. Helping travelers explore the world, one journey at a time. Explore our global teams, administration. So these are going to be the different departments within the company: administration, commercial communications, corporate solutions, finance, human resources, legal and government affairs, marketing, operations, services. This is a lot. Product, strategy, technology, accommodations and adjustments, careers for every journey. I haven't seen anything about the benefits yet. We're inspired by the travelers we serve. Support that helps you do your best work. Here's the benefits, guys. I talked it right on up. Our industry-leading benefits package enables you to create a fulfilling career while staying healthy, happy, and well. Explore our benefits. So we're going to come back and click that. I just want to finish this scroll, and it's quite a long scroll. Incredible team, outstanding awards. Life at Expedia Group blog, Expedia Group tech blog. We're almost at the bottom. Marketing, our divisions. So those are the different groups we talked about. And I believe this is their network, guys. That's huge. Let's stay in touch. Okay, cool. We got it. So let's go back to the benefits section. The lady with the baby. Here we go. Explore our benefits, our purpose. So now we get the purpose. Our purpose to help travelers explore the world one journey at a time. Life at Expedia Group starts with the people, and is shaped by how we work together. Got it. That's search jobs, living our behaviors. So I believe this is values. These are values. Traveler first, think big, operate with excellence, ownership mindset, succeed together, inclusion at the heart of travel. Didn't we click on benefits? I don't see nothing about the benefits again. Well, I know that's what we clicked on. Here we go. Okay, invest in your physical, emotional, and financial well-being. Well-being isn't one size fits all. We give you a range of resources to help you and your family stay healthy and well. So guys, here it is. These are not hyperlinks. This looks like a hyperlink. It looks like it's a video, actually. It lets me click it. Oh, okay, so it's scrolling through the different sections. So if we just had kept scrolling, it would have changed anyway. So that's what we're seeing, guys. So remember, links are down in the description. If I'm moving too fast, or, you know, I'll back up a little bit so you can see it. You can pause it and read it, or however you want to go about it. So that's that, guys. All right, we can go ahead and go to investor relations, because they gave a lot of information on here. I think it could have been designed a little bit better to make it a little bit smoother, but they do have everything we need. So let's go back to investors, or let's go to investors. Put me back on the screen. It looks like they zoomed us out. So let's go back to 150. No thanks. Here are the stats. Here's the investor information. So here's the stock information, but we're looking for the quote. So right here at the top, they got a nice selection right here. Analyst coverage, dividend history. So we're going to go to stock quote and stock chart after we browse over this website. I'll make it quick. Company overview. Expedia Group leverages platform and technology capabilities across an extensive portfolio of businesses and brands to orchestrate the movement of people and the delivery of travel experiences on both a local and global basis. Got it. Investor events, quarterly results, quick links, latest news, different brands or partners. And there we go, guys. So let's go to stock information. There we go. So here's the stock quote. Here's the stock chart, historical stock quote, and they have other tools for you there. So let's go ahead and move here, guys. So biggest gainer research. Expedia Group Incorporated, ticker EXPE. When it comes to their goods and services, guys, they manage online travel platforms across the consumer, leisure, consumer, leisure, corporate business, and partner travel markets, offering solutions such as: number one, complete lodging reservation options, including hotels and vacation rentals for leisure travelers. Number two, scalable business-to-business sales products, including customized booking tools and software integrations for travel partners. And number three, optimized travel booking systems tailored for flights, rental cars, and cruise packages. Looking at their S&P 500 clients and partners, some notable names include Marriott International Incorporated, ticker MAR, Delta Airlines Incorporated, ticker DAL, and MasterCard Incorporated, ticker MA. Let's look at Expedia on the chart. So we got that, bam, bam, and bam. Okay, guys, I don't remember looking at Expedia before, and my mind did not fail me because I'm looking and we don't have nothing on this chart, but we gonna get it. Okay, so here we go. Expedia is pulled up on a chart in the symbol box. Here we go. We're looking at a 1 year daily chart. They have a 52-week low of $185.34, 52-week high of $341.09. And guys, this took place today. And they closed today at $339.12.5. Got it. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to go to a higher time frame. So let's go there. Take me off the screen. Here's 2016. So we're confirming that on this 10-year weekly chart, we do have 10 years worth of data. Here's their 10-year low of $40.76 and a 10-year high that they hit today, guys, of $341.09. Ooh-wee. Okay. So we can get some technicals on this higher time frame, guys, because this is one of the few companies we haven't covered tonight. So I know we've been at this for a minute, but this might take a little time, but we're going to go ahead and get it. So our 9-week simple moving average is coming in at $296.34. Our 200-week simple moving average is coming in at $166.13. That's down here. So we got a while for that to be support. But we looking right here at this 296.34 for support, because that's closer to where the price is right now. Okay. So what I want to do, I want to start looking for support and resistance on these higher time on this higher time frame. I'm liking this one right here, guys. So that's one of the ones that's standing out to me. It held as resistance over here a few weeks. So these are weekly handles. A few weeks could not get above that 190, 185. Then it came back and got tested this year. See, you can see that it held that support there. This area right here looks like a double top or a tweezers top like we had talked about earlier. So let me go ahead and get a crosshair. So if we were to look there, yeah, guys, I'm liking that one too. So if we put that price level there, that's going to come in at 207.42. So we can see that that held that support right here on that week. So let me expand this a little bit. Make sure I'm not blocking it. I'm not blocking it. So there we go. So we can see that that week tested that area of support at 207.42 on this higher time frame. We also have another week, this week right here, where it came down to test that area. And I mean, it took off after that week came down there, that wick formed to come down. If I move this, yeah, might as well. So we move that. We're going to pull this chart down. I'm liking this area here, guys. I'm liking that one. And I'll explain why in 1 second. So look, I'm using crosshairs. So that's something that makes it where you can look at how the price action is responded to something without actually marking up the chart first. Like, just look at it. Don't just throw a line up there. So if we pick that price level tool, we don't have to just slap it on there when we get somewhere. Look at the crosshairs. So we zoomed in so we can see what's going on. So if we use the open of this week right here, what I like about that, you have 2 weeks. You have 2 weeks that have wicks that are using it as support. These 2 weeks here. Then we have an open right on that price level. You have a wick holding here as resistance, that 265.01. This week opened right around 265.01. This week closed right around 265.01. This week closed. This week had a low. This week open. This week had resistance. This week had resistance. This week closed. This week had a high. So looking at how open, high, low, and close, guys, it doesn't just have to be all lows or all highs or all opens. I think it's more powerful if you see multiple bars with any one of those 4 points on a candle responding to that price level. That's how I like to look at it. So I'm liking that 265.01, and that's why on the weekly chart. Now I'm interested to see what's going on here. So if we cut on our crosshairs again, let's look. Okay, guys, this one I'm seeing as a zone. Okay. I'm seeing this one more as a zone. So the other ones, they look clean as a line. But if we do this one just as a line, that's not really, I don't like the fact that it's so close to these other wicks, but it's not actually touching them. So I'm seeing that as a zone. So what I would do, I would use this rectangle tool. I would use the low of that week and use the high of this week. So I'm seeing this as a support resistant zone. Edit properties, change this to the lighter gray, extend this over to January 1st, 2027. And there we go. I'm seeing that as a support zone because the price is above it right now. So that's going to be my high, that's going to be the low end of that zone. This is going to be the high end of that zone. Okay. And then that 297 is also close to a psychological round number, right? So that's close to 300. So that's what I have on a higher time frame. I believe this is good enough for us to go ahead and go down to the lower time frame, and we can see how the price action is actually responding to that now. Okay. So let's go ahead and clear some of this stuff off. Go down to the lower time frame. Here we go. Yeah, guys. Yeah. And I saw some gaps, but we don't have a lot of gaps going on now, but I do see one. So let me explain what I'm seeing as far as like these gaps. There was a gap here. Now I know this is a while back, but it's still a gap. So you had a gap there. You had a gap here. So this is the new thing that's starting to jump out at me now when I look at these charts. Gaps. Like gaps jump out to me first. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you, but like now they stand out to me like a sore thumb. Like seeing where these prices just gapped up or gapped up or gapped down, like, hey, I want to be up here, or hey, I want to be down here. They jump out at me now. So we have a gap up here, but it's very small. It's very small. So if you're not sharp, you're gonna miss it. Like there's another really small one right here. Here's a small gap. So some of them are so small, if you ain't locked in, you're gonna miss them. But you have one right between these two candles right here. So that's August 4th and August 5th. So if we zoom in on those, August 4th and August 5th, these two candles right here. So let me pull this down. Guys, there was a gap right there. It's very small, but it's a gap. So there we go. So now if we were to use that as support and resistance, I don't really like it. I'm just pointing out that that was a gap. I'm not liking it because it's only getting, it looks like it's getting about 3 candles cleanly. So if I was to use it, I'm liking that more as a support zone, guys. And I'm going to show you what I mean. Instead of using that gap, what I would like to use, I would like to use the high of that week and the low of this week. So let's use that. So we use the low of that week and the low of that week. We're going to change the color of this, and we're going to make this a support zone. I'm going to come back and change that in a minute. I want to remove that gap drawing we were using before. We're going to go back and cover August. So we need to go back. So right here, let's go back a couple months, and that should be enough. Boom, boom. Go to the first. Click OK. Yeah, that's more than enough. And now we take this over to January 1st of 2027. And there we go, guys. I'm liking that as a support zone if it was to pull back. If it was to pull back. And let's put the price levels there. So that's the bottom of the zone. There's the top of the zone. So you got 310 and 313. And then we have our 9-day simple moving average, and it looks like it's responding to it pretty well. It closed below it here. So that was August 17th, and it was able to get back above it. Then it closed below it on August 21st. And then it was able to open below it today and bull, like just run up. It made a new high opening below that 9-day simple moving average, just rushing back above it. Now, I don't know if they had some type of catalyst or news today, but it wasn't earnings behind it because earnings was announced on August 5th. Okay, so that's what we have for the technicals with Expedia, and it wasn't too bad. I thought we was gonna be on here for a minute, but it wasn't that bad. And now that I mention it, let me look at this and see how many candles we can get to respond to that area right around there. I think we're good right here because we're looking at that. Now, I would look at the 9-day simple moving average as potential support right now, but it looks like it was trading in a range here as well. It was trading in a range because it was acting as resistance, at least right here. Yeah, I need to put I see something, guys. So let me do this. Let me do it. I'm liking this right here. So let's change this to that, extend this over to January 1st, 2027. I'm liking that, guys. I'm liking that as resistance because think about it. Before the new 52-week high happened today, I believe this week right here was a 52-week high. and I'm looking at the high that day. So that was $335 on that day. And on this day it was $334.86. So before today, this was the 52-week high. Okay. So let's go ahead and put these price levels here. So that's the low end of that range. This is the top end of that range. So it was able to get above that resistance zone. So if it comes, that's going to be, to me, would be a support zone. Then you have the 9 as potential support. And then if it doesn't hold above there, I'm looking for support at $313.46. I like the fact that it's multiple candles here. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 candles. These wicks are clean, meaning they did not close above that area, but it did peak above it. This body was there, but this wick stopped just shy of where this body was able to close at. So I'm liking that. And we have a body that got above it today. I'm liking that level right there. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about our 9-day simple moving average coming in at $326.41, and our 200-day simple moving average coming in at $255.82. Now let's go ahead and get our stock quote for Expedia. So here we go, cut on our floating data box. So guys, Expedia opened today. They opened today at $323.55. They had a high of $341.09. They had a low of $323.55, and they closed today at $339.13, which was a trading range of $17.54. Now, when we look at the volume, guys, they traded 1.5 million shares of this stock today. Is that a big deal? Is that a little deal? We about to find out. So let's cut off the floating data box, take me off the screen, remove some of these drawings. Guys, the average trading volume for Expedia in a daily trading session is 1.9 million. They traded 1.5 today. So that's this green candle right here. And then on Friday, this red candle right here, they traded 1.3 million shares. So we see an increase in volume from Friday to today, but it's still, both of those days are below average. Put me back on the screen. Tonight, Bella. Okay, I got you. Let me pull up. This is what we're going to do tonight. I'm going to pull up your chat, and we're going to actually look at that soon as I finish this. That's what we're going to do. That way we can actually pull that chart up, because we almost finished with this anyway. I appreciate you being here and for that chat. So we definitely going to look at that. Okay, so let's put me on the screen, and let's talk about the volume percentile, guys. So out of the most recent 252 trading days, guys, today's volume was only higher than 44% of those trading days. To be exact, 111 of those days had lower volume than today. So DB days below, DA days above. Okay, so that's what we have for the volume. I know that's jumping around and acting crazy, but that's what we have for the volume, guys. That's what we have. That's what we have going on with that, so we can get rid of this. We're done. Okay, so let's pull up Tonight Bella's chat, and let's check out what he has going on with what he said, and I'll let you see it. So here we go. So we take that down, pull up the chat. Tonight Bella, I believe Expedia and Booking chart may be similar. Okay, so what we're gonna do, since we about to finish the show anyway, like I don't mind somebody sharing something with the community and we done. Sometimes it's kind of hard to do that because it might break up the show, but we actually done. So let's go ahead and look at Booking. But before we do that, I do want to look at this. I want to go to Analyze. I'm going to put in Booking, BKNG, Booking. So there we go. They're in the consumer discretionary. Let's see if they're in the S&P 500 as well. So we already have that pulled up. It's in alphabetical order. So they're in the S&P 500 as well. So all I did was just go over to our S&P 500 consumer discretionary watch list and found it right here in the list. So there's Booking. And then if we go back over to the heat map, go to heat map, Booking is in that same industry. Expedia, Booking. So we go to that sub industry. We got Booking, Airbnb, Marriott. So that's great that you pointed that out. So let's go ahead and look at this on the chart. So what we'll do, we go to Booking. We're going to have to go to the charts. Okay, here we go. So you said they're similar. I believe there's a tool where we can compare these like next to each other. I'm gonna do some research and look at that. But one way we can do this to like see if they similar. Let's do this. If I go to detach. Come on, detach. All right, so we detach. I bring this over. We're gonna split screen this. So bam, take me off the screen. Let's pull this back up. Where are we? Just click on anything. That's the, nope, that's our stream. There we go. So if we go here, I can't do it that way. So we're gonna have to detach it again, guys. So we go here, go to detach. So we got two of them. And we make this half the screen, and then we find the other one. We make that the other half of the screen. So now we got two charts next to each other. We don't have me on the screen. Let's put this back up so I can see it. Give me a second. I got a lot going on because we ain't never did this before in the live stream. All right, take me off the screen momentarily. So over here, we're going to put in EXPE. So that's Expedia. So it changed both of them. So what we need to do, we just need to unlink one. And this one will be booking, BKNG. And now we can look at them at the same time. Okay, cool. So Night Bella with another chat. Booking must have had a stock split because I remember them trading higher than this price. Actually, you can see that right here, Tonight. You see it? That little symbol right there. So split. They did a 25 for 1 on April 2nd, 2026. I'm seeing that right here. So they did do a stock split recently. So if they were trading, that's crazy. How high was it then? If they gave you 25 shares for 1, we would have to multiply. Let me, hold on. Wait a minute. Yeah, because that's not a reverse split. Yeah, that's it. That's crazy though. 25? Where's the calculator? Let me put me back on the screen and pull up this calculator, man. Hold on, wait a minute. Because that means they was trading in the thousands before the stock split then. They had to be. So if we look at, I'm gonna use, let's use the current price. So 213. Yeah, in the thousands. Yeah, it had to be. If we multiplying it, yeah, it had to be. If we multiplying that by 25, because we would take the current stock price, so that was 213. Well, it is 213.36 times 25. Man, based on where it's trading now, if we reversed that stock split, one share would be $5,334. That's crazy. Yeah, and they do look similar. They do look similar. I see exactly what you're talking about. And that's why I like looking at industries, sectors. Well, let's say it in order. Sectors, industries, and sub-industries. By the way, I'm a female. Why you let me call you a male all this time? You know how long I've been. You know how long you've been letting me get away with that tonight. Thank you for correcting me finally, miss. Thank you for letting me know. Wow, where was I? Conservative millennial. You still in the building. I appreciate you still here, man. Most people would be giving up, but I'm glad. I think we had a good show tonight. So what you mean by wow, where was I? What was it? It seems like you're saying you missed something. What did you miss? Yeah, you should be laughing because I remember how many times I done said, hey, brother. I even called you brother tonight, if I'm not mistaken. You should have been said, sis. I'm a female or something. I know how many times I've been shouting you out, and you've never corrected me, but I'm glad you did. So what's up, conservative millennial? I know it's a delay, so maybe you responding to what I asked you, but yeah, I'm trying to figure out what you mean by wow, where was I? But yeah, that's why I like looking at, because they don't do it all the time. Oh, like, no, I meant where was I on the stock split? Got you. Yeah, this is why I like doing the work of looking at the charts often, because if we don't, we fall subject to news. We fall subject to gossip. like one company, like somebody saying this, or Nvidia. But if we actually look at the charts, and then we looking at the top movers, we looking at the biggest losers, we looking at the sectors, we become familiar with all these different companies and aware of how they move, how they're related, who's competitors, who's peers, what do they actually do? Like, that's one of the things that hurt me the most when I first started trading and investing. I was investing in companies and I had no idea what they did. You could have asked me, like, what's they good in services? I'd have looked like a deer in headlights. Deer in headlights. And that's some of the biggest losses I've ever taken in investing, when by just not knowing what the company did. That's a big deal. And then if you day trade, you don't really, and let me be clear on what I'm saying. If someone's a day trader, I get it. You don't care what the company does because you don't plan on being in the company beyond that day in the trade. You don't plan on being in the trade beyond that day. That's the idea. But if somebody is a beginner, a novice, and the trade goes against them, there's a lot of psychology behind trading that you may not be aware of. Like even paper trading, like when you do the not automated, but paper trading, you practicing, you're not using real money. That's more so to get the mechanics of how to do the orders and things like that. That doesn't train you for the emotion involved when real money is on the line. It can't simulate that. So my point is, when it comes to the psychology of trading, it might be hard for that person to accept a loss. So what happens is they allow this day trade to turn into an investment. So remember, you day traded the company, or the person day traded the company because the stock showed momentum. I get your question. Right now, my positions that I have are more so, I planned on them being a swing trade, but it's taking a little bit longer than I expect them to be. So I don't like kind of put myself in a box as far as like an investor or a trader. It depends on the account, because you got a retirement account, or you have a account you doing trades in. So it depends on the position and the account. So I do both. That would be the best way for you. But I tell you what, I do my best not to do. I do my best not to day trade. Most of the trades that I do are swing trades, or this is an investment that I'm doing long term. And not long term, but more than a year, depending on how that trade went. And now I'm starting to incorporate options into what I'm doing too, because trying to get the long-term tax benefit of holding shares for more than a year to get that lower tax benefit, from my understanding, not telling you what you should do, but the holding the shares for more than a year, you're usually taxed at a lower rate at the long-term tax rate. But let's say you was up 100 and something percent, but you just waiting to hold them long enough to get the tax benefit, and you end up giving all of that back. You came out better you're locking in the 100 and something percent gain and just paying the higher tax rate, or protecting the position, buying protective puts if you got long shares. So it's nuances, guys. Like, it's a whole bunch of different, and that was rude of me. I wish I had asked you. That was so rude of me. I'm sorry. I should have asked you, what are you? I'm sorry. I appreciate you for letting me know. I'm currently a long-term investor, but open to learning the swing trade or option plays. Awesome. So here's what I got for you. So here's what I'm gonna tell you about options. Do not let nobody make you think that it's easy. That's the best advice I can give you out the gate. Like any marketing that you see about how much money you can potentially make in options, guys, it's very risky. Like, there's a lot of different nuances that goes into options trading. So here's my favorite book that I have on options, and it's the best book that I've had on options as far as like what I've learned from it. Okay, look how thick that book is. And if you can't read it, I'll read it to you. It's called Options as a Strategic Investment by Lawrence G. McMillan. And this is I believe this is the 5th edition. Yeah, this is the 5th edition. It's this thick. Now, you don't need to know everything in it, but it's just that much information in here about it, because you got different types of ways you can do options. You got calls, you got puts, but then, excuse me, some people think that calls are all bullish. It's not all bullish, because if you sold the call, then you benefit if the stock price stays the same or goes down. But if you purchase the call, then you're bullish. So just being a call doesn't mean you bullish. Are you short? Are you long on the call? Are you short? Are you long on the put? Are you doing a vertical? Are you doing a calendar? Are you doing a spread? Are you doing a butterfly? Are you doing a condor? Like, there's a lot of different things that go into options. So please don't let anybody make you think that it's just simple or easy. That's the best advice I can give you. Whatever you plan on doing, you have to commit to the education part, not just making the money. You have to commit to the education part. But you guys are doing a great job just by putting in the time to look at the charts every day. And even if you don't have the time to actually do it yourself, this is part of the reason why I'm doing this community and I'm doing this channel, because you can just tune in and see what's going on without you actually having to sit there in front of the computer to be able to do it. But it's the best work. It's the best of both worlds. It's best if you do it, like you can actually get the feel of the platform and all that other good stuff, but at least being part of a community where people are looking at the charts and going over things like that, it saves you time. That's the value we have here in this community. But I appreciate you guys so much. And I'm gonna remember to make sure I ask those questions back, because I should have asked you, hey, what do you do as far as options and trading? Do you consider yourself an investor or a day trader or swing trader? But yeah, day trading is extremely, extremely risky. And that's where I had started off my journey. But as far as right now, more swing trade and long term. So yeah, guys, we had an awesome show tonight. You guys are awesome. We had some new people in the building, at least in the chat or speaking. And now I notice tonight Bella is a female. So I appreciate her for correcting me tonight. But yeah, let's go ahead and wrap this show up, guys. So let's go here and here. It's all good. I appreciate the content. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for coming and being here and joining us tonight and engaging and asking questions and all of that. But yeah, I appreciate you. Conservative millennial. So we are going to go ahead and wrap the show up. Let me see where I'm at. So I hope everybody had a good night, had an open day. I mean, a great day in life and in the market. So let's go ahead and wrap the show up. So let's go here, take that down. Here we go. Okay. So you already know, I hope that you learned something and I hope that you earned something. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. This Sunday, August 30th at 9 p.m. Eastern time, we're reviewing this week's biggest gainers and losers, market sentiment, market volatility, S&P 500 sector performance, and creating a watch list for upcoming earnings. Make sure you keep tuning in weekdays following a market trading session at 11 p.m. Eastern time. Take care and God bless.